AFTV, Dan. It was a nervy one at the end, but we pulled through. We got the 3 points. How you feeling after that one?
I'm still a little confused, man. Not confused about how did we take 3 points. I just didn't expect the first 2 games to be like this. I find myself trying to point at why I'm feeling like it because we've taken 6 points out of 6. I just feel like it was a shock today for a lot of people other than myself with the lineup, and I just knew it was going to be this way. A lot of people were saying that we did this lineup against Forest because of how they set up, and it looked today as if everybody was expecting to see something different, and it wasn't the case with the lineup. And I literally said on the starting 11, I said it'll be Tomiyasu for Timber and everything else will stay the same. And I think everybody else was a bit like, I'm not sure. I think we might be completely different. And we set up in the same way. And I don't know. I don't like it. I just got to be honest. I don't like it. Sometimes you can try and look at things positively. People who know me just say, no, I'll say it how it is. I don't really like what I'm seeing. But I do think that there'll be more. We're 2 games in, right? We can't lose our head, start getting meltdown by it. I just feel like it takes away some of the positivity, some of the threats that we had, some of the attacking style of play that we have. And I like to see an exciting, fluent Arsenal, and I'm not really seeing that at the moment. I think that we've got over the line in 2 games against teams that are going to finish in the bottom half of the table. Having said that, we've won the game. I do feel Turkish that although there are some negatives today, there's some positives with our defensive play. And I think that we've proven that we've got some strength and depth there. And that's why I hate to see some of the rumours of defenders leaving. And obviously the Timber one is really hard to take. But in front of goal, I would say in the first half, there's 2 or 3 opportunities there to be going and taking the lead. Now, I'm going to give Eddie credit because Eddie today, I thought, showed a lot of drive and intensity. I thought he worked his socks off. And I think he did try to do his best to create, particularly spinning off the ball in that turn was really, really effective. I think he needs to do better with the chance where he tries to loop it over the goalkeeper. You've just got to put us 1-0 ahead. I think Martinelli in the first, 2-3 minutes has got to hit that with his left foot. He's taken an age to hit the ball. So there are some problems there, I think, negatives. But the big positive today was Declan Rice. Yet again, man, showing why we spent 105 million on him. I thought he was exceptional today, man. I really did.
And moving into Fulham, do you expect to see the same again?
I don't think there's any evidence at the moment that he's going to be changing it. Because if you look at what Fulham are going to do, are they going to set up any differently to Forest or Palace? Yeah. I'm not so sure. I think the one we might see is Manchester United. Mind you saying that, they've been worse than Fulham, Palace of late, but I expect them to be improving and to set up differently. Listen, it might be that this is just a bit unfamiliar and we're just trying to look at what's happening right now and we're not used to it. But I was kind of looking at this game and I thought that lineup was telling as to what we're trying to do now. It seems that we've gone to a very much possession-based Arsenal now, as opposed to a fluent one. But in these last 2 games we have anyway. So I don't know if that's going to change. For me, Turkish, it'll be really interesting to see when Jesus and Zinchenko come back. Because a lot of people are saying he's forcing Havertz into the side. We will know if that's true when them 2 come back. Now, we saw Zinchenko come on today. I think Zinchenko starting and Jesus coming back into the side, someone's going to miss out. Who's it going to be? And we're looking at the inverted side on the right. When Zinchenko's back, is Partey going to invert or is he going to be dropping in the middle? So that's what I want to see before I start to go, we're going to play that system throughout now. Some positives with it. I think there's been some players today, Saliba in particular, Declan Rice I've mentioned. I thought Eddie was really good. Do you know what I'll say about Eddie, right? Because I'm not his biggest fan. I don't sit there and say I want him up top. But Eddie, do you know, like Iwobi and Danny Welbeck used to give that 110%. They weren't going to ever be our number one. But you kind of didn't mind them in the squad because you know when they come on, they'd be electric, they'd be pacey, they'd give it, they'd go power pace. And I feel like that's a little bit similar with Eddie Nketiah. When he's not scoring, what does he do? Well, today we actually saw quite a lot of energy and drive, and I would say that he was in parts more effective than the Sakas and Martinellis of this game, and maybe even Erdogan's. I know he got the penalty, but I don't think he had a particularly good game. So there's some positives there for sure, but moving forward, I need to see a little bit more. I need to see the Arsenal that I was really excited to watch, and I haven't seen that in the first 2 games. But unfortunately today, it's going to be yet again spoken about refereeing decisions and VAR and why, I know VAR couldn't get involved today, but Tomiyasu had a poor game today, bruv.
Overall, yeah.
Jordan Ayew was had his number a couple of times. And for me, I think that, you know, we need to see a better game from Tommy, who I think got the nod rightly so, really. If you're not going to have Timber there, then or Zinchenko, then I think he's the guy that looks like he's going to have to come in if Tini's not in the squad. But he was poor today. Having seen it back, I'll say this. I think the referee's decisions are really poor, really poor of late, okay? But not one of us on the watch along said, what the hell is he giving him a red card for? We all had to watch it again to say, he's not touched him. The referee hasn't had the chance to look at it again. He's looked at it, he's seen what he thinks is a shirt pull, and he's gone, well, he's away, so I'm going to have to give him a yellow, and then that's the second yellow. So that's the only thing in defence I can think of.
At that time, I'm trying to learn here. Maybe you don't have the answers yet, but at that time, if the referee thinks it's a yellow, but he's not sure, is he able to ask VAR for confirmation of that? Or does he have to make the decision, which in turn means VAR can't get involved?
Yeah, it's a great question, because what you can't do is you can't look at, once you've given the yellow, you can't look at it.
You can't come back again.
So, great question. Can he go stop play and go, I need to look to see if that was a foul? That's a good question, man. Or does the referee have to make that decision and then go check it? Because if you think about it with the penalties, it's different, isn't it? Red cards, it's different. He gives him a straight red, he's going to go look and go, oh, bloody hell, got that wrong. He's not able to do that with a yellow card, so it's very difficult. I must admit, when I looked at it live, I thought he pulled his shirt. And that's why I can't sit there and go, ref was a disgrace. Other decisions weren't great. I can't lie, and haven't been over this weekend and the first 2 weeks of this new season. But I can't sit there and say that the reason that we were under pressure for this time was because the referee had done wrong. I think the time wasting for the yellow card, I thought was probably more harsh to book Tomiyasu for that one. Havertz, I think, probably deserved it. He was time wasting. You could see he was, which is a stupid thing to do, by the way, right? Particularly when you're 1-0 up and you're trying to time waste on 59 minutes. Like, come on, man, get on with it. So for me, I'm not going to sit there and start blaming the refs for us hanging on today. But the first two performances, we've kind of hung on to both of them. Nottingham Forest, another 5 minutes, they're lumping balls in the box to Chris Wood. We see what happens there on Friday night when they do that. So for me, I need to see more from Arsenal. We still need to do stuff in the window, because right now, for me, we've improved one position in Declan Rice. Timber's now gone. Forget him for the season. Do we need another defender? If you say no, why did we need Timber then if we don't need another defender? Likewise, Kai Havertz, I'm not going to start ripping into him. I've still not seen enough in the early days to suggest that this is a £65 million player that's going to do wonders for us. But at the same time, I haven't looked at him and gone, what a shambles, we need him out of the team. So I think he's had fair performances so far. He's done a lot of things right, and there's a lot more I need to see from him game week 2. Come on, man, I'm not going to start laying into people like that. So for me, some positives of the first couple, definitely more squad depth in certain positions now to allow us to do these formations. But I still need to see more in the window, man. So let's see what happens, bruv.
Yeah, let's see. Love Dan.